Jersey. To my left is a chair filled with a blanket. To my right is is that Mario? I don't know. And on the other side of the microphone is...
It's Mark from RainCityGamers. How you doing, Pete?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good.
We have been playing fucking that game.
Rocket League.
Rocket.
It's unreal, man. I feel like I have a hard time not playing with one hand, like one hand on the controller, one hand on my junk. Like the game is that good, Pete. It's that good.
It is. It really is. I mean, like when you score, it's like it's not quite like scoring with females when you're 19, but it's kind of like scoring with females when you're like 26.
It's like a step down from prom night. Like prom night's here, and then scoring in Rocket League just a step below that.
Oh,
shit. It's what's cool about the game, and I mean, first off, I had heard all this great stuff about it before I played it, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure the game's fun, you know, etc. You know, you always hear all the hype and whatever, but like this game is literally one of the most fun games I've played in a long time. I honestly just can't stop playing it.
It's ridiculous how fun this game is. I mean, I was excited for it. I played supersonic hyper rocket shit balls cars on the PlayStation 3, and I was like, this is a really great concept, except for the people I'm playing against are way better than I am, and this game sort of simplified that, but also just it blew it out at the same time. And now there's like 150,000, 200,000 people playing. You can get on PS4 or PC, and it's crossplay between the two. Like the game is just getting huge.
And not only that, but it's free for PS Plus this month, which only adds to the amount of people. And it's the best part about the game is that it's a ton of fun even when you suck at it. And I think that's why it's so kind of rewarding and appealing and kind of resonates, at least with me, is even when I play shitty, I'm having a blast. It's kind of like I compare it to like playing golf. You know, you're going to go out and swing the club 100 times, and 10 of them are going to be fun, and the other 90 you're going to want to fucking put a gun in your mouth. But for those 10, you know what I mean? Like those 10 are what you go back home and talk about. And that's kind of how I feel like every match that we play of Rocket League, it's those 10 shots, no matter what.
Well, I'm glad we don't have guns in our mouth.
That's true.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to make this podcast or just talk to our loved ones. But I agree with you. It does have that immediacy. Like when someone centers the ball, like if you're running down, or not running, but driving down the right side, and you're like, I'm centering, and then I'm there and I see the ball coming in, and I'm like, I have this shit. And then I do something like this, and the ball just goes off to the side. Like I do wish I could just grab a gun and kill myself. Like it's that intense.
I think it's just it's kind of like the I mean, I think Bungie has the mantra of like every 30 seconds is kind of its own event, right? And every 30 seconds has to be fun. I think this game captures that completely, because there's so many times where you have something perfect and you visualize what you want to do, and then like 2 times out of 10 you actually fucking do it. And so those 2 times, it's like the best thing ever. And all it wants you to do is make sure the next time it's 3 out of 10 and then 4 out of 10. You know, but it's going to take a while to get there. I don't know, man. It's so simple, yet there's so many layers to the strategy, to how you control things, to what you can actually do, that the moment you feel like you're pretty good at the game, you realize you're not good at all. When you see some of these like pro players out there flying around doing shit, but like it makes you want to play that good.
Right. It does. And like it sets up all of the shit where you can make an amazing goal by accident.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to cut down what you did, but like we have a video from earlier tonight where you were flying through the air and like you have this green screen behind you and it was like just barely hit the top, and then I did a fucking like I did what is that called, the bicycle?
Oh, the bicycle kick. Yeah so like I kept flying from midfield. I just tapped the ball, it goes down, it hits the very top of the fucking goal, and then it just bounces right in front, and Pete just rolls back, he waits a split second, and then he bicycle kicks the thing in.
Right, which seems like if you just watch that, like it doesn't even exist right now on right now as we record this, doesn't exist yet on YouTube or wherever. But if you were just to watch that, you'd be like, oh wow, they set up a really amazing play. We didn't communicate that.
No,
you were like, I'm gonna fly through there, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll bicycle kick it in. Like that was not the plan.
But it's like perfect chaos. It's kind of like, I guess another analogy too is like when you play Far Cry 4. I felt like when I played Far Cry 4, all the best things happened that were completely random. Like you're just running through and all of a sudden you turn to your right and there's a rhino just barreling at you in a tuk-tuk. Right. So you're like, oh shit. And those are the things that you pull from that game. And like, I feel like this game is exactly that. Like there's so much randomness to it, but yet it all seems to always work out in the end to where it's like, oh, well, I mean, I wasn't meaning to do that, but it was awesome. Like I had fun no matter what was going on. Whether I tried to do it or didn't try to do it, the end result is that I want to play again and I can't stop playing.
Yeah.
Except for to maybe record a podcast with you.
Right.
That's about it.
Because you only had a half hour left of Rocket League.
That's right.
But you had an hour of this. That's
true. It did add an hour to my day, or half hour to my day.
Now that you're seeing the video of my face, you probably like I'm moving back and forth.
Yeah.
You're like, this is a bad decision. I should be playing Rocket League right now.
We should just be playing while we're doing this. That would be magical.
We should, but it would just be a torrent of swears. Fuck.
That's true.
Missed. Fuck. I tried to. Oh, that fucker hit. God damn it.
That's
shit
right.
Fucker.
It wouldn't be PC friendly. It would be, we probably would get banned from something somewhere in some country.
I keep trying to get banned from something. Well,
I got banned from NeoGAF for 2 weeks.
Nice.
I made a SWAT joke.
I'm banned from
forever.
For life. Yeah.
I got banned for making a SWAT joke. So, yeah, I know. I thought it was fun. If people knew me, like, I know you can't see sarcasm when you write something on a forum, and I get that, but like,
the internet is basically autism, or not autism, but it's like it's Asperger's. Like you don't get body language; it's just words.
True. Yeah, and I literally was laughing as I wrote what I wrote. And then like the next 10 posts were just, first off, I'm usually invisible on that fucking forum, which is fine. And the next like 10 posts were like, are you serious quoting me? And I'm like, I was joking, guys. And then banhammer, done. So.
But only 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's it. Just 2 weeks. And I almost feel like it was kind of worth it.
I'm waiting for my 2 weeks then.
Are you?
Yeah. It's been about a year, but maybe 2 more weeks. And
I think it's going to just tie into how good you get at Rocket League. So just keep working at it. And they'll have like
that's the thing. Like, I don't miss like there's this whole thing where like, I mean, this is something I'm proud of. Like the whole PS4 no DRM. That was awesome. And I was a major part of that. And that was really cool. There was a lot of other stuff where it was just like, I know a few people who work at Sony. I know a few people who work at EA. I know a few people who work at Respawn. And I was just sort of posting information and people were like, you're an insider. And I was like, I guess I'm an insider. But it's really like, it's not like I wasn't ever an insider. I just was a person who knew people, and then they told me stuff, and then I said the same stuff back. That's not a skill. I mean, that's like a microphone can do that. It's doing it right now with both of us.
True.
So, you know, like, and people are like, oh man, you have all this inside knowledge and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I said the wrong thing, which, okay. Reset.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I am. I'm fine. I just don't want to, like, there's so much drama around sort of leaks and shit because people can lose their jobs and whatnot.
Oh, I mean, that's understandable. Absolutely.
So with that, like, you know, the whole thing on NeoGAF, people are like, you know, you're wrong. And then this guy showed up and he was like, that's totally wrong. And then him and I started talking privately, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, blah, 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 blah. Two of us are cool. I'm banned from NeoGAF. Fine. That's totally fine. He now, like a year later, is going, he wants to be the host of I forget the fucking name of it. It's a Top Gear. It's a European car show.
Gotcha.
It's Cole Rogers. Like, so like we were cool last year when I got banned, and he just reappeared on Twitter and like friended me right away, and he was like, hey man, can you hook me up with NeoGAF community? And I was like, what I said about you made me I can't, no, I'm not there anymore. But so I retweet his stuff because like him and I are cool. I still occasionally get people saying like, you were so mean to the guy with the sick kid. And by the way, his kid's doing fine. This kid's doing really great.
Pete, I think you're the Pete Rose of NeoGAF. At some point, something will cave. We'll go ahead and let you back in. Make it happen. Is there some sort of hashtag that we can like?
No hashtag.
Hashtag Pete Rose.
No.
Pete God? Let's do it.
Holy shit! I mean, like the PSN is awful. Like I'm a Sony fucking homer. The PSN is fucking awful. I'm getting all these fucking tweets at me. It's like, hey, can you pass on the hashtag better PSN? And like that just goes into my brain to prior shit where I'm like, no hashtags go to bad things. But the PSN needs to be much better. But I want nothing to do with hashtags. Unless it's like hashtag suck my asshole.
I don't think you want anything to do with that either.
Well,
I hope you're on the receiving end of that, bro. Like if you're going to do that.
Well, suck my asshole. I am on the receiving end.
Oh, this is quickly derailing, Pete.
It's downhill. I mean, well, you knew coming in. I was drunk when we were playing fucking Rocket League like 3 hours ago.
It's fine. I'm sorry that I even got up in here.
I kept flipping like this, and the ball was just a little bit higher.
We should do like a weekly stream of just playing Rocket League, because just the excitement and the entertainment around not only what's happening because we're just kind of good, but also terrible at the same time, is also just the banter that goes on.
Right.
It is outstanding. Because
we're so close to good. Right. It's like the ball goes into the corner. I rush into the corner and I'm like, I'm going to center this. And then I actually kind of do center it, but the ball just bounces really fucking high.
Yes.
And then you have been working on your whole flying technique, which is, if you haven't played Rocket League, is not easy.
No.
And just kind of barely miss it with this green fucking shit.
It is needle. It's needle in a haystack is what it is. Like you just fucking turn and you go and you jump and you hit circle and you just go and you hope to God that you're lined up right. And then if you hit the ball, it's a miracle, let alone aiming it somewhere.
Right.
So I'll get there, Pete. I'll get there. I feel like it's like the very first time I played Guitar Hero, I was on easy, and now I play on expert. So there's that progression. There's that progression that needs to happen. So
I don't know. I feel like this game has such a difficulty curve that is like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like it's amazing. Like if you suck, you will get killed. If you're amazing, you'll win. But we all started at the same time.
Right.
So we're all just sort of going through this, and then the matchmaking hopefully puts us against people who are at the same point that we are. But
and we don't have to play an AI named Goose. That motherfucker, man.
Goose.
God. Seriously.
Goose fucked our lives.
Honestly. He fist fucked our lives. Like didn't even lube up or anything. Just rammed it home.
Yeah. It bled. It was like, it was kind of itchy.
Yeah.
And then you itched it, but you got blood on your hands.
And the motherfucker didn't even buy us dinner either. Just.
No.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't even polite about it.
No, he didn't care about dinner.
Wasn't good. I'm going to stick to my analogy of golf, you know, like, and that's why I say like, there's millions of people that play golf and they're all different ranges of skill.
Right.
But golf kind of caters to the skill, right? There's different tees, there's different courses you can play. But I feel like that's a good parallel to what Rocket League offers, right? Like no matter how good you are, you're going to have a blast and you can play with other people. And then you can also just by playing, you can get better. Like they have the tutorials you can jump into even while you're in loading screens. It runs like a dream. The graphics are crisp and awesome looking. I mean, I have yet to see a hiccup frame rate wise or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about as good as it gets there. But again, I just can't go back to how much fun the game is to play no matter what. And it's been that way since I played my first game against AI, went through the whole season against the AI. Then I did a tutorial, which there was like 5 things I learned that I had no idea after playing 28 games. And then I jumped online, which just makes it exponentially better when you're playing with other people and communicating and just having a blast. Like it just reminds me of having a room full of buddies and cracking beers and just playing and just having a blast. Like no matter what, it almost brings me back to some Halo LAN days. You know what I mean? Like just the types of shit that would go on. And now thankfully we at least have share button, you know, to grab some of those moments and be able to make highlights and record shit. But it's just flat out fun no matter what. I've yet to not have fun playing the game.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like I've gone on losing streaks like 4 or 5 games, and the entire time I'm like, I'm not happy that I'm losing, but let's play another.
Yeah, right. Just keep smashing the X button. I'm ready. Let's do this. And that's pretty much it. But the other part too is like I feel like every time we play, I feel like I get a little bit better at something, you know.
Right.
So I'm not necessarily gaining attributes or getting points or anything to like spend on my guy, but I feel like I'm organically getting better at the game.
Right. And that's what I was saying earlier today, or earlier tonight to you, was like, I don't understand why people like we were playing non-ranked games because it was me, you, and your friend Dave. Dave?
Yeah, it was Dave.
It was okay. Me, you, and your friend Dave. And we were dominating pretty much like probably 75% of the time. And people were dropping out of the game. And I was like, why are they leaving? Like it was exhibition. So it's not like your rating or whatever goes down. Nothing's recorded. Your goals, even the shit with like the tires and like everything you put on your car, like that doesn't contribute in exhibition. So it was like, why are people leaving? Because there's so much to learn. Like even getting your ass kicked like 7-0, you're gonna pull something out of that.
Well, either way, when you finish the game, you'll get a wizard hat or something for your fucking car. You know,
Right.
like
Right. But I mean, beyond that, like you're gonna see the other team do something
right.
where you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, that's a strategy. Like I can do that." Like you know, like you and I, like because like you're the person I play this game with the most. So if I see someone's like, "Oh, they hit it like this," and then someone comes in like this, as if these are, you know,
it makes sense to me, Pete. It makes
sense. Like you and I could work that out. Like if we didn't know that worked beforehand. I don't understand why people quit out of games that don't count.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, you know, people also cheat online for reasons I don't ever fucking know. So who really knows about that? But you make a good point. I mean, it's like you have a 5-minute game. You just play the game. And I've seen. I mean, shit. We've had games where we were up 4-0 and it ended 4-3. Or, you know, I mean, you can score 4 or 5 goals in a minute if you're not careful, or you can have them scored on you or whatever. So it's like you don't ever really feel like you're out of it until about the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, if you're down 3 or 4 goals and there's 30 seconds left, I mean, the game's probably over. But either way, like you still.
I keep trying to hype the team. Yeah. I'm the cheerleader. I'm like, guys, I've seen goals scored in 4 seconds. We can do this. And then the second the ball goes wide,
you're like the Greg Schiano on our team. You're the one that like the other team's lining up to do their kneel down, and you're like diving at the fucking knees of the lineman.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Rocket League Pete Dodd right there.
We can win. We can win down 3 goals at 30 seconds.
Yes.
10 seconds a goal. That's plenty of time.
And here's the other part too. If you play the game for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and you're like, I don't really know, just play until you get into an overtime game.
Oh my
because
God.
When you're in fucking overtime, it is the most intense. Like every 4 seconds, there's something going on, and you're like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, and you're just constantly swearing because you're either missing something or you're blocking a goal or something is around the rim of the goal. It is unreal.
It is
the entire time, and obviously it's whoever scores first wins at that point. It's sudden death. Yeah. So anytime the ball is in the air or near a goal, it's just like pins and needles.
That is true. All right, so let's pretend that you can't start Rocket League. Sony froze you out because the PSN sucks. What are you playing otherwise?
I'm playing the golf club, which I play for the most part weekly because I'm in the TGC tours. I'm also playing The Witcher 3, which I'm trying to slowly get through. And on the way, I have McElroy coming, so I'll be checking that out later this week from Gamefly. But that's pretty much been my rotation as of late. I also picked up Project Cars for $3, so thanks to Wario for that. So I picked that up. And I played
Mario 64.
Mario 64, yeah.
Person to follow on Twitter, to talk to. I mean, like he's just great in every respect.
I've never interacted with the guy, but the guy is just like Twitter gold. So
yeah,
I'm appreciative of being a follower as his.
He's the nicest guy. Like he really is. Like he's so humble. Like he's ridiculously humble. Like, and that's probably why he is who he is.
I was at work and I checked my Twitter feed and he's like, boom, post this thing on Project Cars. And I'm like, no fucking way. And I didn't even care. I just said $3. I didn't even know. I mean, I could care less what game it was. I was like, I'm fucking buying it. I don't care if it's something I'm never going to play. I'm going to get it for $3. Right. And it actually worked. So, but I played the kart racing on that. So I've only played about maybe, I don't know, half hour, a couple races. It was cool though. And I'm not a big racing guy. I have Drive Club, which I love, but I play it periodically. Like I'll jump on it. I'll play it for a few weeks, then I'll get off of it and I'll come back on it a month from now, you know? Yep. So that's how I see I'll be playing Project Cars. But that was a really long answer to your question. But that's pretty much what I've been rotating through. And I'm trying to kind of catch up with my back catalog as of now. So.
And that wasn't a long answer because I wanted more of a break.
You wanted more of a break. What else do you want to know, Pete?
Well,
I'm a Scorpio. You want to get down that road?
What is like? What's the game? You said you have a massive back catalog.
Mhm.
Like, what's the game that if you could just like hit a button that made sure you played through it all, you experienced it all, like emotions, everything, like what is the game in your backlog that you would pick first?
As of right now, it's probably The Witcher 3. And it's just because I'm having a really hard time actually turning it on again.
Right.
I respect what it is. It looks great. It's everything you could possibly want in an RPG game. I'm having the hardest time giving a shit. Like I log into it and I play it and the combat's it's okay, it's not bad, but I came from Bloodborne into it, so that's just like it's gonna go downhill no matter where you go from there.
Yep.
So that was the first hit. But then it's so massive, it's almost to the point where it's overwhelming. And it's off-putting because there's so much shit that you can do, and I'm not in the frame of mind right now to play that sort of game.
No.
But as a gamer and love gaming, I don't want to also not be the guy that didn't play The Witcher. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I respect what it is, and what I've played of it, I've enjoyed. But I'm waiting for that time when I turn it on and I don't want to turn it off. And that hasn't happened yet. I'm on Skellige Islands, or however you fucking pronounce that. I know it's not pronounced how it's spelled. So I'm a good probably 20 to 30 hours into it, and I'd give you a more correct answer, but unfortunately it says I've been playing for 9 days because it counts like when I'm in rest mode and shit. So I have no fucking idea like how far I'm actually into it.
I didn't even know that.
Well, yeah. So
like, you know more than I do at this point.
But either way, like now when I turn it on, like my only goal is to have sex with Yennefer. Like that's pretty much what's trying to push me through it.
No. I mean, no. I
No?
want to have sex with
the redhead?
Yeah, what's her fuck? Triss.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. I already banged the wizard chick who was in the hot tub when you first see her. So that was outstanding.
Yeah.
But like I said, I hate it. I got you.
And that goes back to or forward to we haven't talked about this yet. Rory Gilmore Golf. Even though she isn't a redhead in the show. I like redheads. Anyway, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, so a few other things about The Witcher is just that like I still want, like I got it from GameFly. I haven't sent it back yet because I want to play it and I know how massive it is. I just want to start chipping away at it, but I feel like every time I play it, I don't make any progress. So I feel like I'm fucking running in place. Like I guess the way I could explain it was, it would be like going to the gym every day and just busting your ass and doing all the reps and lifting all this heavy weight and then never seeing any results.
Right.
Like at some point you're going to be like, fuck the gym. I'm going to crack a beer and sit on my couch. And that's kind of where I'm at with The Witcher. Like, I'm still kind of going to the gym, but I'm slowly in my mind, I'm kind of going, what's the point? And that's where I am. And it sucks because it's unfair to the game. Like the game doesn't deserve that sort of treatment because it's amazing. And it's about as good as it gets in terms of RPGs. I need to be in a better state of mind. I don't feel like I'm making any progress. And then I even go to do side quests or even little small things. And I'm like, let me just jump in and do this mission. And all of a sudden it's like 90 minutes later, I'm still looking for fucking Junior. Like I'm jumping around this town in Novigrad. I'm going to all these fucking different guys. And then I have to run around looking at my Witcher senses. And then I have to run all the way across the map to do something so I can come all the way back and give somebody a fucking book. And I'm just like, where the fuck is Junior at? Like, I just wanted to find Junior. I just wanted to like check this box and get this off of my quest list. And all of a sudden it's 90 minutes later. And I'm
happy about delivering the book though. I mean, that's amazing to give someone a book.
Oh God. So I
mean, have you read Catch 22?
No.
All right. So you and I, we talked about this. At some point, we're going to meet in Vegas.
Yes.
I'm going to hand you Catch 22. Okay. I'm going to get that feeling. Hand you a book.
That completionist feeling of here's that book you wanted.
But you don't even want it.
That's true. That's true. Because you know why? It's going to get me over encumbered, and then I'm going to have to fucking get rid of something I actually want.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to put it
my
in,
other part,
and then you're going to have like a whiskey flask over here, and you're going to be like, "Well, fuck, I can't carry this anymore."
And here's my problem with when I play these open world games is I want to do everything, which is like suicide in this game because
Right.
like it's impossible. And so the one thing I'll say is that it is nice that it levels the different missions. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a road to go through. So it's like I grabbed this level 23 mission, but obviously I'm level 9. So I'm going to go ahead and do those first. So there is a way to kind of go through and do it at your own pace. But I just, like I said, I hate myself for even feeling this way, but that's honest to God's truth. Like I just have a hard time turning it back on again.
Yeah. I have the same problem. I think I've talked about this on the Doddcast. I don't remember because Rich and I record every like fortnight, but I'm not from England, so I don't know how long that is. But yeah, like I play the game and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm doing this and doing this. And then it's like you have to turn the detective mode from Batman on and you have to follow the footsteps. And then the footsteps sort of like peter out. And then there's a bird in the air and then it kills you. And I don't know. Like, yes, I want to love this game. I played The Witcher 1, owned The Witcher 1. When it came out, and I was like, this game's kind of shit. I got The Witcher 2 when it came out, and I played it on the PC, and I was like, this game's really good, but not good enough for me to finish because it's too difficult. So, but those two things together, I'm like, I'm a Witcher fan. So Witcher 3 comes out, and I'm like, I can't wait. And then I could wait because I just am not having fun playing it. I mean, there's certain quests that are fun, but the overall it just does not do it for me.
I feel like it's, and I never played the other two Witchers, and so I actually watched a bunch of YouTube videos leading into it so I could get at least a little bit of a taste of the lore because I wanted to give it its fair shot. And right. It looked so amazing going into it. And it still is a great game. Like I want to make sure I play through it, you know, to just kind of check that box. But it feels like a chore to do some of the things in here. Like I feel like I'd rather almost do the dishes instead of like go find Junior at times, or like at least there's a parallel to that. And some of that's my fault. But like that's just, I wish they would kind of mix in some of like these little quick little fetch quest type stuff. That I could just be like, run over there and I kill this dude and I run back and the guy like actually gives me something. Like I get something, I gain something.
You never do that. You always have to be a fucking detective and do 19 other things first. Right.
Which again, it's an RPG game and I understand that. And Geralt's a cool like hero and he's very likable and I like him, you know, and all that stuff. And I understand that you want to get into his shoes and do everything, but
he smashes.
Yeah, he pounds it, right? Like he raw dogs that shit. So like I don't know. That's just where I'm at, and I can't get myself to give up on it because I know how good it is, and it easily. I mean, it's definitely in the game of the year conversations. Like I understand that and I respect that. I'm not saying it would be, but I'm just saying it's in the conversation.
It should be. I agree with it should be, but for me, I don't know. I went to Metacritic today because I was like, I want to see if Rocket League is actually above 100. It's going to be like the first game ever that's like 103. And on Metacritic, Rocket League's 85.
I think it's low.
85.
Yeah, that game's at least a 90 or over. I mean, I can understand
900.
Well, again, personally, yes, it's between 9 and 10 for sure. But like, if you're going to just rate a game on why we play games, right? Like, his name, I'm sorry, the guy that just passed away for Nintendo, the CEO or the president or whatever.
Yeah.
Iwata. Yeah. Like, is that how you say it? Either way,
I don't know.
This game, I think, like encapsulates like his spirit. Like that's kind of how I feel. Like you turn this game on, and this is why you play games. Is to play Rocket League and just have a fucking blast for 5 minutes at a time. No matter what's happening on screen, no matter what you're doing, you're constantly smiling, laughing, joking, swearing. But like it's just a constant fun. no matter what, whether it's a 5-10 hour blitz of it or 10 minutes of it or an hour and a half of it or whatever.
You fucking swear at it?
Nah, occasionally.
Yeah, someone said to me before the Nintendo dude died, and I don't mean disrespect to him, because I'm not a Nintendo person, so I don't hate them, I don't love them. And I saw him do this Cranky Kong thing. He seemed enjoyable. And anyone dying at 55 is sad, because I want to live past that. This is really, really selfish. My point being is, it feels more to me like a Sega game, like old school Sega. Like it was just pure gameplay. Like it wasn't graphics like Nintendo. Like, this is no slight in Nintendo. I mean, Mario games, Zelda games, fucking Metroid games, all those had great gameplay, but Sega always had these weird fucking games, especially on the Dreamcast, that were just like, it's like, I don't even really understand what's happening here, but like the gameplay is fucking fantastic. Like shit like Choo Choo Rocket. Like that's, like, this game reminds me more of a Sega game than it does a Nintendo game, which is a really long way of saying, like, or, you know, saying the opposite of what you said. If we can erase the point where I said awful shit about Nintendo guy. You are not part of my thing here. I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
yeah, but I think
if this is a controversy, like, you're not. That had nothing to do with you.
No, that's fine. The point. I think the point is that, like, both of us are finding some sort of old school feel to it, right? Like, yes. Again, it kind of goes back to the old school of gaming, where like we'd play games not for trophies, not for scoring or leaderboards or anything like that. Right. Like, it was just because you were just having a fucking good time doing it.
Right.
And that's what Rocket League does. It does something very simple, but makes it layered to where it can be masterful, right? Like, you can play it at its basic level, but there's so many layers to it that you can get very, very good at it, and that there are benefits to doing that. But the bottom line is like, I'll just revisit my first analogy with golf. Like, no matter what you're doing, you're having fun. And even if you're not having a good time or not having a good round in golf, you're still going to be having fun, because you're walking out in the sun, you're with your buddies, you're drinking, like, you're just absorbing what's happening. And that's kind of what I feel like when I play Rocket League.
That I agree with you with Rocket League and drinking with friends playing golf, but
yes,
that's not what you get to do playing Rory McIlroy golf.
Let's talk about that.
There's no option to drink. Like, I'm playing it and I'm like, oh, this game looks good. And then, like, I created a character for the career mode because you have to, which kind of pisses me off, because there's this really amazing super old guy that you can use in, like, just playing a quick round. And he's hysterical, and he has all these custom fucking animations and shit. I'm like, I want to be him. And so I went through all of the optimizations, creating character, and you can't do shit. Like, for a guy, you get 8 hairstyles, which sounds low, right? For a girl,
that's because it is.
For a girl, you get 4. How does a girl have half?
What is that?
Is that
like ponytail, hair straight, hair curly? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Straight, curly, ponytail.
Bun is the last one. which is what I have as Rory Gilmore, because I'm a Gilmore girl, and both the game and the person start with Rory. So, I mean, playing the game, it's fucking fantastic. Like, it plays great. The ball rolls weird sometimes, though. Like, and you were in my stream.
Yeah.
I think it was last night, and we were talking about it. I've started to figure it out, because it actually tells you at the beginning of the round, like, how everything's playing. So it's like, it will say regular, slow, or fast. So, like, it actually does make sense, like, and gives you the info beforehand.
You were playing Chambers Bay, and it was like, it looked unnatural, like the way the ball would bounce, and stop, and it didn't pass the eye test. But then when you were playing later on, you were playing Sawgrass. That looked better to me. It looked like the ball is actually doing what I would expect it to do, based off of how fast it was going, how it bounced, etc. And so what you're saying is that has to do with kind of the settings of the course, like the speed of the greens, speed of the fairways, and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But it also, like, regular and slow don't go as far as they should.
Mm-hmm.
And fast is kind of, it's somewhere between where regular and fast should be. So, yeah, I mean, the carry on the ball, like, after it hits the ground, is not as far as it should be. Like, even on fast, like, fast looks good because we don't know that it's fast, so it looks natural. So
was Sawgrass fast then? I take it was Sawgrass fast.
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought that looked good, at least from what I was watching you play.
Right. Yeah, fast is basically natural.
Makes sense.
So there's no fast.
So have you had a chance to, like, dive into the career mode or anything that's not just quick play? From what I've seen, I haven't had a chance to look at anything else on the game. So
I kind of played career mode for about 6 hours this afternoon. I don't get me wrong. I'm not a video game nerd. I won't just sit here and play video games always. But sometimes I sit in this chair and I just play video games for like 12, 18 hours. And I just kept playing and playing and playing. I was doing this whole thing where, like, you only play like 4 or 5 holes in the entire weekend, because, like, this game actually has like the 4 rounds. And you can actually, like, with your character, you can actually go in and set what clothes you're going to wear for each round, which sounds like doll dress up, but is...
You can do Sunday Tiger, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did with Rory Gilmore. It was like black, 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 red.
It's so funny that you named it after a Gilmore Girl, because I thought you named him Roy Gilmore because of Happy Gilmore.
No, Gilmore Girls.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Because the Gilmore Girls take place in Connecticut, which is where I grew up. Even though right now I live in the fucking desert of Utah that's trying to kill me.
Welcome to the desert, Pete.
You're a fucking Rain City gamer, but you live in fucking Phoenix.
Well,
like, you see rain for like 20 seconds a year.
Yep. That's why I live here, actually. That's why I moved away from the rain. So,
well, let's talk about Rain City Gamer.
Okay.
The site. What do you do? What is this fucking site?
Yeah, so it kind of stemmed from a buddy and I who grew up together, big video game fans, and playing since we were 5, 6 years old. And we just, as always, wanted to run a website. And finally, one day, we were just honestly playing games, just kind of dicking around, talking online, playing Xbox or PS3 or something. And we just decided, let's just make a fucking website. And so the goal of it was, our main goal is to get it to the point to where we can go to E3
Mhm.
Like we've always wanted to go to E3. And I know you can buy tickets and you can do different things, but it was kind of our back end goal of like, let's just make a site. It's kind of a passion project type thing. We don't take it too serious, but we do reviews, we do podcasts, which we're trying to get back up because we were doing them weekly and then life got in the way. But we do reviews, we do podcasts. We'll kind of sometimes write some articles if things spark and we do it.
Right.
But that's pretty much what it is. Like we just have a good time with it. We do it casually. We're not trying to make money off of it or anything. I mean, it's just something that we do as a hobby. And we have fun with it. And it just kind of adds to our hobby already we're already playing the games. Now let's actually kind of expand on that. Let's talk about it and let's write reviews. And that's basically where Rain City Gamers came from.
Well, here's where I love it. And at that point is also why it will fail. Is because like I saw it at first, like you were on, I think, no, my memory's hazy, but I think like you were on the Dodd Scientifics forums before I knew about your site. I think.
That was about a year ago. About a year ago or so. That's when I signed up.
Yeah. I mean, the forum started a year and 3 months ago. So yeah. But yeah. I'm doing this thing. It's coming.
Lay it on me, Pete.
It's coming. It's coming. Hold on.
All right, I'll drink.
So I was thinking to myself, what the fuck does Rain City Gamers mean?
Right.
Like, there's a million websites, and people think, probably never even saw, like, what the fuck does Dodd Scientifics mean? Like, it's just a name that doesn't make sense unless you know. Like, now that I know that you and Dave are from Seattle where it rains.
Exactly.
You have the Seahawks fucking thing behind you, like your Pasta Padre. Even though you're fucking
just trying to follow in his footsteps, you know.
Fucking Phoenix. Like, so yeah, was that a problem, like, for you? I mean, I know that Dodd Scientifics was a problem for me.
Are you talking about like the name of it? Was that an issue or anything?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, again, our goal was never to make this popular website. I mean, obviously, I don't want to waste time. Like, you want to have visitors to your site. I mean, let's not fuck around. Like, if you put time into something, you want to get some rewards back, and you're going to feel good about doing it. But you want some people to come check it out, right? Like, that's why we do these podcasts. That's why we talk about games. That's why we play games. But that was never our goal. Like, I wasn't trying to like unseat IGN or something. You know what I mean? Like, we were just having some fun with it. Figured why the fuck not? And we did it. We were trying to kick around some different names. Wanted to keep the Seattle kind of feel to it, and so we ended up going with Rain City. And then we're like, well, we're gamers, we're gaming, like it's a gaming site. We went with gamers, and then of course the word gamers got all like, oh, you can't use gamers, we're not gamers, blah blah blah. But I was like, whatever, fuck it, we'll just keep it. And so that's kind of where it came. And I used to work at GoDaddy. And I remember talking to people there, and I mean, what the fuck does GoDaddy mean, right? Like, you make it mean something. Like, that's the point. It doesn't matter what you're fucking called. You make it relevant. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way we went about it. But at the same time, like, I think could fail tomorrow. And I've had fun with it for the last year, you know, and that's just where we do it. But we're going to keep it going. We're going to have some fun with it. I mean, we were really, our biggest hurdle is just time. It's just me and Dave running it. And I'll tell you right now, like, it's not easy writing reviews. It looks easy, but it is not easy. It's time consuming, especially for me. Like, I enjoy writing them, but it's a 5 to 8 hour project for me to do it.
Right.
It's like almost an entire weekend for me to actually sit down and do it. And when it's only him and I doing it, right? Like, I just think it's tough to keep up on content. And we were being very consistent for about 6 to 8 months. We were doing weekly podcasts. We were doing a bunch of reviews and writing articles and stuff. And then just we just kind of got burnt out, right? Like it was easy to do because it was just both of us. And then, you know, you start having things happen in life. You start working more. You're married. You have girlfriends. You have things that just happen that all of a sudden, all this extra time you had for it slowly chips away. But that's kind of where we're at. But, you know, we're trying to revive it. We're trying to just ease back on it to try to balance it in what we're doing.
Right.
And we'll see. I don't know. I mean, again, we renewed it and everything. We're going to keep going for at least another year, and we'll see where it takes us. Like I said, I'd like to be able to go to E3 and just like wear a RainCityGamers shirt and walk around and like introducing people and just experience it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't. But that was essentially why it was even built. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. You know, like I made Dodd Scientifics because I wanted to like create something in the video game community. And when all like people are like, what are you trying to create? I stopped and I was like, I don't know. You know, like I don't have a problem with the way that video games have come about. You know, like there's a lot of shit in video games where I'm like, that's awful. Like, or like fucking the EA thing on that you can only get an Xbox One.
EA Access.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is shit. This is going to ruin the industry. It didn't ruin the industry. It's actually really good value for people on the Xbox One, you know, like I had this idea where I was like, I'm going to save video games. And it was just like bullshit. Like they don't need saving. I mean, they need people to protect them. But like, I just got so full of my own shit that I thought like, I'm that guy. I'm going to do this. And over the last year, I've realized like, no, I'm the guy that buys every video game ever and plays them and loves them and tweets funny fucking pictures and plays Rory fucking McIlroy golf as Rory Gilmore. You know, like that's who I am. Like I thought I was like this angry protector, but I'm not. I'm waiting for you to respond.
I thought you had more to come here. I was waiting for it.
Soon.
Well, here's the thing that I think I'm slowly learning this as we're doing our website, and I've probably known it for a while, but I think it's at this point, I mean, there's so many giants out there. It's so easy to get information, right? Like you don't really want to be a news site. You want to be an opinion site, you know?
Yep.
It's your opinion. That's the only thing you have that makes you unique.
Yep.
And I mean, it's like we went through some stuff where we were trying to, like, we would do podcasts where we would essentially just talk about the news. And after a while, we're like,
news podcasts are so
bad. Right? Like,
you know,
and we would add some color to it. Like we wouldn't just like, you know, I wasn't fucking Dan Rather, you know what I mean? But
right.
The point is that like we started maybe shifting it more to opinions, because it's like, look, I mean, that's the only thing I can bring that's unique. You can go to IGN, you can go to Google, you can go anywhere you want to go to get information, but what you can't get is my opinion. Now, whether you give a shit about it or not, that's up to you.
Right.
But that's the only reason that you have. That's the only reason that you would have to go to my site, is to hear what I have to say about X, Y, Z. Yes. And I think that that's why a lot of people like your site and like what you were doing, is because they respected you and your opinions. And that's why you had such a good following. And that's why the forums are still there even to this day. And people are in there jumping around and talking.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, like, I am not like a fucking egotistical person. But I do think that the way that I think about video games, other people are like, yeah, I think that way too. That's not me like, oh, I'm fucking awesome and whatever, but like I just see the same sort of trends or whatever, and people react to that. Not a lot of people. I'm not IGN. I'm not even fucking DualShockers or whatever. Like but there is a, like, every podcast I put out, there's 1,500 to 2,500 people who listen, and that's cool. I guess. I'm not. I guess. I guess it was the absolute worst. Like, that's awesome. Like, when I started doing this shit, like, it was PS Nerds and it was PSN Nerds, and it was like it was me and two other guys. I started the whole thing, and it was like, we're just gonna write about PSN games on PS3. And this is actually back when supersonic robot super rocket cars came out, which brings us full circle to this podcast.
It took me 3 seconds to figure out what you're talking about, the super acrobatic, whatever, the prequel of the Rocket League. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure we talked about that in our first 10 episodes. And now, like, this is episode, like, I think 264, maybe 265. And I still don't know what I'm doing, but people are like, they get so mad. Like, I can't believe you said this about that game. I'm like,
I'm sure we'll get flack for our 5-minute conversation about Witcher 3 for sure. I can already see that coming down. But I think that's what makes it great, though, right? Like, I think the internet nowadays, like, people have access to whatever they want, and so they have to make a choice, right? So those people, 1,500 people, chose to listen to you. I think that's actually pretty cool and humbling, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
But it's like, but that's the whole point. Some people listen because they want to agree with you. Some people listen because they hate you and they want to disagree with you. Mm-hmm. But either way, they're intrigued. It's like the Howard Stern thing, right? Like, people listened to him all morning, and half of them probably hated the fucking guy, and the other half enjoyed him, and they were wondering what was going to happen next. And that's kind of just the intrigue of, there's so much control nowadays on what you can listen to. Like, there's really no more radios. Like, you listen to what you want to listen to. You have your own personalized everything. Your iPhone's personalized. Everything's personalized to you. And so I think that just kind of funnels down to what we're doing right now. Like, this is just you and I having a conversation. If people want to listen in, then that's awesome. And I hope there are people listening, and I hope we hear some feedback.
Yeah.
But like, it's such an awesome time now to that I can literally just wake up one morning and go, I'm going to make a fucking podcast, and I'm going to make a website, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can just throw my opinion out there.
So we do have one question.
Yes.
And is
it directed at me?
No, it's actually worse than just me rambling. But I am a huge fan of Brandon, so I'm going to read it.
Do it.
The unreasonable size of dicks in porn, they need to be bigger. And actually, there isn't a question mark.
Well, I mean, obviously, you don't want them to be smaller, right? Like, we're not the type of society that's going to have smaller dicks on screen.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to have to get bigger and bigger.
Exactly. So, like, at some point, we're going to get to, like, idiocracy levels. Right. And like, just a giant dick is going to smash a human.
I would imagine that most guys wake up in the morning and they don't go, I wish my dick was smaller.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that, like, obviously that would, pertain to every medium and anybody else out there that's listening.
All right. Well, thank you, Brandon, for that question.
Brandon, fire away. Hey, you know what, Brandon? You can come back anytime.
Yeah.
Please send another question in. That'd be great.
All right. So let me.
What else you got for me, Pete?
I'm gonna find some shit. Here we go. I don't want dead air. I'm a fan of Mike Francesa.
Mike Francesa. Let's find it.
But he has a lot of dead air. So we're going to answer questions that Rich and I answered last time. But the funny thing is I'm hammered, so I don't remember what those questions are. And you weren't on the podcast. So here we go.
I don't know what that means.
There's so much that I edit a lot. The people there's 2 or there's 3 people watching right now.
Awesome.
So they know how awful I am currently. But like when this comes out,
I hope that they're watching while playing Rocket League, so it will offset.
Yeah. Yes. But they don't even care.
That's true.
They just hit a fucking bicycle.
Yeah, they're actually swearing at each other in the game. They're not even like, it's just kind of on in the background.
Yeah. They're like, who's this dick that's just going, oh, fucking hell. Where the shit?
Well, Pete, you asked me the question earlier. Backlog question.
Backlog.
What's the one game that if you could just check a box right now, it'd be over with for whatever reason?
Probably The Witcher 3 also, and that's fucking a weak answer, but like I don't enjoy it, and I don't really like I've never succumbed to sort of like societal pressures, but at the same time I just want that game beaten, and then people could say like, did you beat The Witcher 3 though? And I'd be like, yeah.
Right.
So I guess I am succumbing to societal pressures there.
It's like you earn a Witcher 3 Letterman's jacket or something that you can like parade around.
Like I don't give a fuck about the game though. I mean, like it looks decent. The trees are really shitty. Why don't anyone talk about the trees? The trees in that game are fucking awful. Let's just say I beat it. End of question. Did you beat it? Yeah. Done.
We at least share that in common because I honestly feel like it's this dark cloud that just hovers over me, and I just want to get rid of it. That is The Witcher 3 in my life right now.
I think that's what it does to all of us, and that's fucking crazy.
And the shitty part is there's like 2 other games that I really want to play. So I've literally had Shadow of Mordor since Christmas. I've never opened it. It's sitting on my shelf.
Good game.
I know, but like I just get inundated with these fucking open world games, and there's so many of them. That's why I actually was refreshed to play The Order. Because like it was just quick and dirty and done. I had a good time with The Evil Within, which I played through too. Yeah, like it was nice to 8-10 hours. I was done with it. I mean, it's not the greatest game in the world, but it was just nice and just a change of pace. You know what I mean? And so that's why I think I'm appreciating Rocket League as well, because it's not this fucking open world game where like, what do I do next? It's just I'm in the moment and I'm playing it, and it's moment to moment.
Ball with your car.
Like, that's it. It's moment to moment. Like, that's all. I don't have to go fucking use my Witcher sense or find Junior or. I mean, I could probably bang Triss in Rocket League. That would be fine. But like that, that's just. I think that's why it's also kind of a refreshing.
I'd bang
game
Triss
to play.
in any game.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I would question.
Mostly in Rocket League.
Mainly in Rocket League.
Like, some sort of thing that goes and it shoots.
I would wear like the Viking helmet, and we would figure something out. Like that's probably how that would go.
Let's just go from there. Cut the black, and then. Yes.
And then a montage of goals.
I put a montage of goals out on my YouTube stream.
We are talking like Adventure and Jurassic World type revenue there.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
So
I saw Jurassic World the day it came out.
Thoughts?
I loved the fuck out of it, but there's other things. I mean, this is what goes into everything. It's like, someone's like, this is awesome. I loved Jurassic World because number one, I watched it. Number two, I was in a seat that shook like a motherfucker. And number three, it was my wife and I's 5th anniversary, like wedding anniversary. So she was in a seat that was shaking like fuck, and I was in a seat that was shaking like fuck. And number 78, holy shit, there was dinosaurs that fuck shit up. Like that was awesome. That was so good.
Was it like a special theater you're in or something, or just like a standard theater that had really good subwoofers?
No, it was a standard theater that had like I think about 8 seats. I think they're called like rock boxes or something, but like it moves.
Sounds dirty.
So like if you've seen Jurassic World or not, I mean, like if you've seen a movie with a helicopter, when the helicopter goes up, like the seat tilts back.
Oh, that's
and it
pretty
makes
cool.
you think that you're going up. And when a dinosaur fucking kills a motherfucker, the seat shakes like you're getting killed like a motherfucker. Like it's really
That's the real
fucking
deal.
awesome. Yeah.
Like, so they have theaters here like that, but they're like iPicks, where it's like you buy your seat in advance, and it's this nice cushy chair, and they bring you beer and they bring you food.
Yeah.
But they don't have any sort of that like animatronic shit like you're at Disneyland. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. It's awesome. I had like I fucking lived in Brooklyn like before this, and we went to theaters and it was just like, oh, here's the screen. I moved to fucking southern Utah and all of a sudden the seats shake. Like I don't know why, but cool. That's fucking great.
I like Jurassic World. I watched it. I don't think it's better than the first. I think it's impossible to even compare.
Yeah.
But it's by far the best sequel.
Yeah.
I had a good time with it. I thought Chris's Pratt character was awesome, really likable. Just vintage Chris Pratt. At least I say vintage as if he's been around for a while, but he's only been around for a few years.
But he can do anything.
But I don't
give a shit.
But I thought he did awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was, you're right. Like there was dinosaurs everywhere. I mean, the plot is all right, but I don't think, and that's not why you go see Jurassic Park, right? Like it's about the dinosaurs. It's about just constant action. Who's going to die? Who isn't? I liked how it ended too. It was kind of a cool little like climax there where it was all there. I'm obviously not going to spoil it, but I like how it ended. And I hope that they're going to make another one because it made, they're printing money with it.
Right.
But it was a good quote unquote reboot of what they could do with it. So
fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Flying dinosaurs going into the water. Holy shit. I don't know why that made me so happy. It was just so different, I guess, than the other Jurassic Parks. And like, I'm 38 years old. So like, I watched the original Jurassic Park when I was like 14 or 15. Like, I was a target goddamn market for that movie. And I loved it. And I'm not saying this is better, but when I saw like when all like it just went mayhem, and then there's fucking flying dinosaurs that went down into the water and they were fucking picking giant fish and shit out. I want to do that. I want to fly into the water.
So this is a good segue then. It's just I just thought of something here, right? Like, so we had for years, we have all this, zombie that, everything has zombies in it.
Right.
Hope that this is like after watching Horizon that we're going to start having some fucking dinosaurs in games again.
Yes.
For fuck's sake.
Fucking like, Turok on the Nintendo 64.
If they would make Far Cry 5 on Isla Nublar, like that might be the best fucking game ever made. Could you imagine the Far Cry 4? Like, let's put it.
That's 2 dicks.
Yeah, I could see that, and I would join. Like, we would be Eiffel Towering that shit. But like, I don't know why the video game industry has gone away, and maybe we're going to see this now. Like, obviously, everything's always a couple years behind because they have to make the fucking game. But I hope that this is just signed to come with dinosaurs, and obviously they'll end up oversaturating again, and we'll go back to zombies.
Right.
But I'm hoping that that's like the next evolution.
Well, it won't even go back to zombies. It will go to like, what was before zombies? It was kind of.
Well, it was sci-fi, and then it was zombies, and then it was realistic shooters, and then it kind of goes back to sci-fi again with Destiny. And it's like this, it's almost like clothing, right? Like bell bottoms are cool, and then they're not, and then they're cool again, and whatever.
We're definitely in sci-fi right now. I think with shooters, like the most recent or the last 2 fucking Call of Duties are sci-fi. Battlefield, not quite yet, but they went off in a weird direction with cops and hope that caught on. It didn't. But
Well, at this point, they're
Titanfall,
yeah,
Titanfall's fucking amazing. And Titanfall 2 is going to be on both systems, and that's going to be fucking great. Halo, people are looking really forward to, like, where I felt like Halo was getting kind of tired, but now that sci-fi, like, Halo's actually existed, like, sci-fi is here, and this is only going to make sense to 3 people watching on video, but sci-fi is here, and it's like, Halo. Like, they actually survived the entire circle.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
and Halo was it, right? And then Call of Duty 4 came out and just wiped that clean.
Yep.
And as great as I actually liked Halo Reach a lot, and I really liked 4. And I know I'm probably in the minority with those 2 games, but I don't have an Xbox One, but I'm actually buying one in October for 2 purposes. First off, it's to play Rock Band 4 because I have all my fucking songs on the 360. But secondly is because I want to play Halo 5.
Right.
And so I'm excited for it. I'm by no means like this fucking Halo fapping guy. Like, I'm not overly excited about it, but it looks really cool. I didn't have a chance to play the alpha or whatever that was out last Christmas. But it looks good, and it looks like an extension of Part 4, which I'm happy about, which I'm sure I'll get fucking reamed on Twitter for those 3 people that are watching for even saying that. But
I hope it's just
like
boom.
Right? But you're right. It's like you mentioned Battlefield. So it's like Battlefield at this point might as well just stay put because everybody else is moving away from them, and they're going to be the only military shooter waiting and standing there.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
And in fact, they should just be like, fuck it, we're going to make a World War II game. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, fuck, World War II's back, because that was the other one we were talking about prior to zombies. Everybody's fucking making World War II shooters. You know what I mean? So, like, they may go the 2142 route, but at this point, they might as well fucking stay put.
Yeah.
Stay with military and do what they're doing.
I agree. But I assume that Battlefield 5 or whatever it is, Bad Company 3 or whatever, it's going to be.
I hope they went Bad Company 3. That would be so good.
It would. The Bad Company is so much better, especially on consoles.
Yes.
So much better than the actual, like, Battlefield installments.
Well, Battlefield Bad Company 2 was such a good game, and the main reason was because they made that for consoles. Now, obviously, if you're a PC guy, you're going to disagree with that, and that's fine. Like, you play your other Battlefield games, and at the time, we could play 32 players, but that game was made for consoles. So it was perfect. And now it's different because they can do the 64 players and all that stuff with Battlefield 4 and Hardline and all that, so it's a little different now. But at the time, it was like, fuck, I couldn't stop playing that game. That game was amazing, and the single player was a lot of fun, too.
It was. The conversations back and forth between the AI were fucking hysterical. Like, games being funny, like, where they're actually trying to be funny instead of, like, unintentionally being funny, are so rare. But that game was funny. Like, those guys talking to each other was fucking funny.
I think they'll revisit that. I mean, didn't they make a comment that they didn't even know why it was successful, which I think is just fucking stupid to say.
Right.
But I mean, it's obviously on their radar, and now they're working on Star Wars, which looks awesome. Yes. So that's another sci-fi game, right? So, like, I think the trends are going to be like, if they go Battlefield Bad Company 3, or even just a Battlefield 5 that stays, modern.
Right.
I mean, I'll buy it. I'm a Battlefield guy, even with the whole Battlefield 4 stuff. I think that at the time it was shitty, and for those 6 to 8 months it was really bad. And the fact that they came out and said, hey, no, it's fine, no big deal. Now I'm taking the face. But fuck, when they updated that thing in June, that game was awesome. Yeah. From June moving forward, Battlefield 4 was about as good as it got on the consoles. And now it's a little different now because there's a lot more games out. But like, that game was what it was supposed to be. It was just 6 months late.
Yep. I feel the same way, and I feel like I betrayed people for feeling this way. Like I was some sort of, like, I'm gonna be a warrior for like gamers and whatever, but like at the same time, like, I know a lot of people who make games, and I also understand the process of making games, and I know that publishers set the date, not the developers. And like when a game comes out and it's shitty and they're like, Pete, you should rage against this. And I'm like, it's not their fault that this happened. Like, and this is not like, I'm not trying to take dice off of the blame palette, is what I'm calling it right now.
I'm following you.
Because like, I don't know if it was their fault or if it was EA's fault or whatever, but like Battlefield 4 launch was a disaster. But like, I'm not going to scream about like, it's fucking DICE's fault or it's fucking EA's fault. Like, I don't know. That's what drives me kind of crazy about gamers. It's like, if you don't know, don't point fingers. And I guess probably because I was on the wrong side of fingers being pointed, that I feel this way. But I think I felt this way before then. It's just like, no, just wait for the facts and then get pissed off at who you should get pissed off at.
Well, what's funny about the Battlefield 4 stuff is I almost feel like all of us gamers can actually thank that game. Because what ended up happening was it actually opened eyes of a lot of people, including EA, even though they still keep shooting themselves in the foot. But look what they did with Battlefield Hardline. They weren't going to take a chance with that game. That game got pushed back because of Battlefield 4. Look what happened with even Drive Club got pushed back, and even though that still needed an extra 3-4 months probably, but that got pushed back. And look at games like Watch Dogs. That got pushed back, and even the success of Watch Dogs, everybody's bitching about delays and whatever. That game sold a shit ton in May.
Yeah.
And it would have sold a lot, during the launch as well. But I think that the industry started realizing that it was better to push games back than to release them unfinished, because consumers, the gamers, aren't fucking stupid. And the last thing that they need to have happen is have a bad launch, because that will just taint everything. And so while that was really bad, and again, I'm a big Battlefield guy, and I thought it was shitty for 6 months, it's actually good that all of that went down that way. So whatever, you can blame who you want to blame, but at the end of the day, I think it ended up being actually a positive for the industry.
I agree with you. And that's, I mean, I guess that's the difference between optimists and pessimists, is like Battlefield 4, like just taking that game launched as a piece of shit that didn't work. So the pessimist would say, this is just how video games are. Video games are going down the shitter. And an optimist would say, no, they're going to work on it and it's going to get better. And then, like, this is the sign of like the way games are going, like shit will get better as it goes on. And that game got better. I mean, it's actually fucking fantastic at this point. Like, I don't know. Like, am I a hypocrite for like being happy that it got better?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It brings up a good point. Like, I mean, this kind of goes back to actually something that just popped in my head. Like, people are bitching about how they re-review games. And I'm like, why wouldn't they re-review it? Like, take Drive Club or even Master Chief Collection. Like, reviews aren't for, let's compare dicks 6 months ago. It's, I'm in the fucking store right now, and I'm holding 2 games in my hand, and I want to know what I'm buying today. Like,
well, going back to dicks, it's like holding 2 dicks where like they're 13 years old.
I don't understand this. Like, it's like people are just trying to get their own opinions validated by staying back when like Drive Club didn't work or when Master Chief didn't work. It's like, well, it works now, and that's fine. I'm not saying you forget all that. Like, you hold that against the companies, 343, all that stuff. Like, they also don't dodge those bullets, or even like Street Fighter 5 or 4 or whatever that came out. Like, it's not good that they released it that way. I'm not saying that. But like, they at least fixed it for the most part. And it's now a different product than it was 10 months ago, 8 months ago, 6 months ago, even a month ago for Street Fighter. Like, that game got fixed in 6 weeks. That doesn't condone the fact that they fucking released it and it was broken. Like, that's not good. Or even like Arkham City or Arkham Knight. Like, that whole PC thing is just baffling to me.
Right.
But like, I guess what I'm getting at is that like, I don't understand this idea that, oh, we have to punish Sony or Microsoft because of Halo or whatever. It's like, who are you punishing? You're punishing the person that's fucking standing in the store holding the game.
Right.
10 months later, that's trying to buy it.
Yeah. I agree with you 100% there. And it just doesn't make any sense. Like that level of anger. Like, because if you are an informed customer, you know where things are going with the game that you're going to get. Like I last night had pre-ordered about
Rory?
3 days earlier, Rory McIlroy golf, PGA, whatever. And then I started, like I was talking to Rich Grisham, who obviously is on the show. I was talking to Pasta Padre, who just beat me in the AEL CS in our fucking
MLB.
Yeah, god damn it. I was up 2-0 on him, and he beat me 4-2. He just rattled off 4 wins, and fuck him. And I was talking to them about the game, and they were like, this sucks. But everything that they said that sucked, I was like, I don't think that would really bother me. So like, I just sort of drunkenly hit the button and was like, okay, I pre-ordered it now. And then, so yesterday I was like, fuck, this is a huge mistake. But then I've been playing it and it's fucking good. Like it is what I want it to be. So it's like, should I be mad that it isn't as full featured as Tiger Woods? Should I be mad that it doesn't have the social aspects of the golf club? Or should I just be happy that I'm playing the fucking game and the game makes me happy?
This is full circle back to Rocket League. You know what the answer is.
Just gotta punch it through that goddamn goal.
But this is a perfect kind of segue, right? So like, let's say they actually follow through with their promises of adding content to Rory McIlroy golf over the next 6 to 10 months. Let's say they do it like we were talking about earlier with UFC. They kind of follow the UFC model where UFC was not as good as it is now when it was launched. Right. And so like, if you're standing in a store at Christmas time and you're holding McIlroy, wouldn't you want to know what the game has right then and there, as opposed to what happened back in fucking July when it got released?
Yes.
Like, I don't know. It's just, and like you were saying, like it just boils down to what you enjoy. Like I'm more partial to the golf club. I was in the closed beta. I really loved the game. I've kind of watched it grow. I almost feel like it was like a little brother of mine, to be honest with you. And I love talking to the devs there. They've been great. They're really great with the community, all that stuff. Like it's hard not to root for them. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to playing Rory though. It's coming in a few days. So
well, both they help each other in a way. Like if golf gaming fans are happy with the 2 games, that lifts them. Like I'm going into Jack Trent now, like a high tide lifts all ships kind of area. Like I'm going E3 like 2011, but like that's true with golf games. Like if the golf club gets attention, that's good also for, that might drag in people who are like, I never really liked golf games. And then Rory McIlroy comes out and it's like, well, I'm going to buy that now, which I never would have before. So, that's fantastic as far as I'm concerned.
And I think what's great is that each game does something really well, and you almost kind of wish they could just put the games together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so what we've already seen this for the past 10, 15 years, right? Competition is going to create a better game for everybody. Look what happened with Madden and NFL 2K, right? Case point there. Look what happened with FIFA and PES.
Yeah.
Like FIFA wouldn't be what it is today without PES, because FIFA was shitty 7, 8, 9 years ago. It was awful.
It was.
Look at NBA Live. Like
Oh
NBA
my
Live
God.
just got slaughtered by NBA 2K15, but it's trying to come back. But the thing about that is that having NBA Live around helps NBA 2K15.
Yep.
So I'm with you. I don't want. I mean, I want Rory McIlroy to blow me away. I know it's not going to, just from the streams I've seen and what I've played. But I'm not going into it being like this is going to be a shitty golf game. I'm actually looking forward to what it does well.
Right.
Just so I can kind of get a feel for, is it fun to play? Like, what does it do well? What are some of the things they could take and implement into the golf club or vice versa? You know, like I'm kind of one of those gamers where I'm always looking for what could be better in the next iteration or what they could add or anything like that. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like I'm looking forward to playing it. I don't know how long I will play it. It's not going to be, the 8 to 10 months I've been playing the golf club. I know that for a fact just because of content. Right. But I'm looking forward to checking it out for a few weeks, maybe a month, maybe longer. I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's the thing that you can't really predict about video games. Like when fucking Hot Shots Golf came out on the beta, I got it obviously the day it came out, and I was like, this game's fucking great. I was very active on the Player One podcast boards at the time, and I was like, so I made a post. I was like, hey, how about we do these daily tournaments and then we post our scores, and then like we'll do that like 6 or 7 times, and whoever has the lowest score wins. And we did that. And it ended up going in like 8 or 9 seasons. I only did like 5 or 6 seasons. Like it actually, like I left and it still kept on going. I would have never predicted that, like 2 days into it. Like, and that's where we are right now with Rory McIlroy. Like we're 2 days into it. Yeah. The online with that game looks really fucking weak. But like if like I know you have it coming from GameFly. I know Germ has it coming from GameFly. I know that Jeremy is looking into it. I know that they're like Alex, like a bunch of people on the Data Scientific forums are looking into it. If we all get it and then just play the daily tournaments, which like on their own are not that exciting. But if we do that in a way that is exciting for us, and then we make a point system off of that, like the game could be fucking fantastic. Yeah. That's the thing about video games. Like you really can't do that about movies or TV or whatever unless it's drinking games. Like, right. Like let's watch X-Files and see how many times fucking, they're like, I don't believe this. And then you drink. But that's what's amazing about video games is that you can do that.
Yeah, and it's actually, I mean, even to go off that, like for instance, I'll go back to the golf club since that's what I play a ton of. They have the tgctours.com site that you go to, and these guys are doing such an awesome job. It's all community based. They're running it. Now they have the APIs hooked into it so they can pull all the stats. But that's just all gamers that came together and made more out of what the game had from what it was. Like they basically built this entire website and this league off of what the golf club was. Yes. And so there's no reason why that couldn't happen with Rory. Now there's some different dynamics at play there just because of the fact that like there's create a course in that one and the other one only has 12 courses as of now. So there's different dynamics of that. But you're right. Like all it takes is just a few dedicated people that want to maybe dig in a bit deeper and add some extra layers to what's missing, right? It's all about filling in the holes. Tour or the golf club didn't really have a career mode, didn't have anything. Now it does. It has DLC, which is a little light, but it's there. But the point is that it didn't have that. Then people in the community were like, well, fuck it, we're going to make it. And that's what they did. There was a gaping hole in the game, and they filled it. And so now the question will be is, can that happen with Rory McIlroy? And I guess we'll see. We're only 2-3 days into it.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make in whatever way with this podcast is, can you take something that is smaller this gen that was bigger last gen and enjoy it more? Like, and should you feel guilty? Like, last gen, no, there was 26 courses. Now there's 13, so that's half, and I should enjoy this half as much. Like, is that the way we should think about games? I don't think it is.
It's funny. I go back to, I want to say, what is it, Black Tusk, or who is it, the Coalition? Who are the ones that are making the new Gears? I know they changed names.
Yeah, it was Black.
Was it both?
Tusk.
But now it's like the Coalition or something.
Yeah, I don't.
I remember one of the guys, and I'm going to try to paraphrase this because I don't remember the exact quote from IGN, but he said something like, "Gamers want it to be different, but they want the game to be exactly the same." And so it's like, you can't fucking win, right? And so like that's the problem, is like, people as gamers, they want the next Gears of War, and they want something different, but they want it to be Gears of War. So it's like, well, what the fuck do you want from this? And so I think that kind of the same thing goes into sports games. I think sports games are a little different because it's grounded in reality, right? Like, I know what I do when I go out and golf. Like, I have a lot more opinions on Madden because I watch football all the time, or baseball because I've played it. And so it's not like, I don't know what it's like to fucking chainsaw a goddamn ghoul or whatever. Like, I don't know what that fucking is like in real life, but I know what it's like to putt. And I know what it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that people are overly critical about that because of that. But I also agree with the fact that, like, I don't understand how they could bring a golf game out and have it be so bare bones, not because of that just in a funnel, but because of what happened with NHL 15. I think that's where I have a problem with it.
Well, I think that UFC, NHL 15, and Rory are in the same sort of bubble at EA, where it's like, okay, we're restarting what's happening. We're going to rebuild. NHL is somewhere else because it's going to be yearly. UFC and Rory McIlroy is not going to be. But at the same time, like, they're trying to build around it, so they put out like what would be, I think, usually a beta, but they put it out and then they have the community go, "Oh my god, this is wrong. Oh my god, this is wrong. Oh, holy shit, this is so good." And they build off of that. That's what they did with UFC.
Right.
I'm really, really hoping that's what they do with this game.
I hope you're right. I mean, we talked about this, right? Like, I want Rory McIlroy to be a great game.
Right.
I hope that EA at some point can kind of learn from their mistakes, and that's where I'm at with it. Like, they're better than they were, and I'll give them credit for that. But like, I'm waiting for the time when I'm like, I have this like epiphany, and I'm like, okay, now they actually get it, and maybe this is the time, right? Like, again, I'll go back to the golf club. Like, the way that they've supported the golf club, HP Studios, has been immaculate. Like, it's awesome,
amazing.
And so, like, I don't expect EA to do that because it's a little bit different environment with it being an indie versus a pretty big studio. But if they could just somehow follow the line, like I'll use your analogy with the UFC. Like, if they took what they did with UFC, they apply that to Rory McIlroy, that will make that game amazing. Like, it just will, because it's what's missing right now, courses, right? So if they add courses over the next 6 to 8 months, maybe they do a course a month, or maybe 2 courses a month, or something like that. Maybe 3 courses every 3 months, kind of like a Battlefield type setup, where every 3 months they get like 4 or 5 courses, or something like that. Then eventually, by the time Christmas rolls around, you're going to have 15 to 20 courses, and all of a sudden, that's a completely different product that you have. And it's better, and it's better because we're bitching about it. So the nice news is our voices are being heard. It's just a matter of how much of it's being heard, and how much is actually going to be acted upon, and are they going to follow their word? Yeah.
I agree with you. I know firsthand, just bitching about DRM, whether that was from me or not me, but from the entire voice or not, like, that doesn't really matter. It was just that it was talked about, and all of a sudden DRM was a fucking conversation. So like, yeah, like if you play a game like Rory McIlroy and you say like you're playing it and you're like, this doesn't have enough modes, just fucking yell about it. Like I can't believe I'm saying this to the internet because I'm sick of the internet yelling, but at the same time it's like, no, yell about that. Like, this game does not have enough fucking modes, and then hopefully the people that are working on it will be like, oh, here's some more modes for you guys. And
well, I mean, look at look at EASHL, for instance, right? Like, I don't even play NHL games. They're fun, but I never buy them because I don't really have a hockey team. I grew up in Seattle, don't have one. Hopefully I'll have one soon. And I'm here in Arizona, and hopefully they'll move their Coyotes over to Seattle. But either way, but the point I'm getting at here is,
I'm glad you're not in Seattle, by the way, because Seattle's gonna die soon
because of the earthquake.
Yes,
that I've been hearing about since I was 3.
Yep.
No,
I'm glad. I don't want you to die, so I'm just.
I appreciate that, Pete.
I'm happy.
That warms me here in the heart. It does to hear you say that.
But there is a thing going through us also.
Which is?
No, well, I don't know.
Anyway, to go back to my EASHL point, like EA was like all these numbers behind who doesn't use it, who doesn't want it, blah, blah, blah. 95% of players don't use it. And all of a sudden they pulled it from the game and just fucking outcry came out. And now it's in the next game. So I agree with you. I think it's in a nice time where we'll kind of go full circle with what we talked about earlier. Like, we're in a nice time now as gamers where our voices are heard. But the problem is we also know that. Right. And so I think sometimes we have to kind of check what we're saying at the door sometimes, because it affects, like you were talking about earlier, your friends who are devs. Sometimes they can't control it. Sometimes the publisher controls it. I think we have to kind of understand that, yes, we have a voice and yes, we can make an impact, but it doesn't necessarily mean we should every single time. Or we should voice a full opinion without actually understanding what's actually fucking going on in the whole situation.
Absolutely. I mean, let's say like right now, right this fucking second, and this is only to you and the 2 viewers that are looking at me, how when I do this, how crazy I look. Like, I want Star Wars to do this, and this. Like, because we're in the summer of Star Wars or whatever. Like, I don't even give a fuck about what Star Wars is doing, but like, yeah, like as fans are just like, how about like we just have 44 Jar Jar Binks and we stab them all because that will rectify the prequels. Like, you can't go by fans. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of so much shit. Like, Golf Club, you're the best fucking game. I have such great ideas for what you should do. Don't listen to me. I'm so wrong. I'm so fucking wrong. Like, on all of it. But most people don't realize that. Like, they're just like, I don't know, the next Spider-Man game, you should have a dick.
I think that would sell a lot of copies, Pete. Spider-Man with a dick.
No, it can't sell a lot of copies. That's gonna that will go.
Do the Spider-Man? That would be a new, like, that would put a little more spin on spinning your web around. You know what I mean?
Spider dick. Holy shit.
But I get what you're saying, right? It's one of those things where, I guess to even use the Spider-Man analogy, right? What's the phrase in that? Like the power phrase. I don't have it in front of me or anything, but what does Uncle Ben say to him? About with great power comes great responsibility. Yes, and so I think gamers gonna have to understand that too. Like, they also feel empowered when they do that sort of shit, like the Mass Effect 3 stuff and all that thing. So like, you start getting a big head and you start going, well, fuck, I actually wrote an email into EA and I was in the forums bitching about that and they fixed it. Like, they fixed the Mass Effect 3 ending. So why can't I impact everything else? And again, I think it's great because there's a lot of shit that gamers do that are positive when they speak out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I don't want them to stop, but there's also edges of that you're like, okay, I think you're a little over the top, or I think you have to kind of maybe pump the brakes a bit.
But maybe that's just, us being old, and I don't mean to rope you into my age because I don't know what your age is.
34.
Yeah, 38. Okay, so we're in the same fucking sphere. But yeah, that's a huge problem. Is that like the whole hashtag better PSN thing? I would love a better PSN. I also was the whole hashtag PS4 no DRM guy. And I got really fucking sick of hashtags by the end of that. So now it's not like I'm against better PSN, but like I just have lived enough life of fucking fighting over hashtags where I'm at this point where I'm like, they're fucking stupid. Like hashtags don't mean shit.
I think there's one thing that like as I've got older, I think you start learning that when you think that somebody else doesn't know what they're doing, you're probably wrong. Yes. And so there's smart people at Microsoft. There's really smart people at Sony. Yep. There's very smart people in positions of power. And does that mean that they don't make bad decisions, Don Matrix? But I'm not saying that like their shit doesn't stink, but I think people have to give these people that are making these decisions a little more credit than they're typically given. And it's usually like if a decision is made that's poor, it's typically there's probably 12 meetings that happened prior to that decision even being made that led them to this. And even to go back to when the Xbox One was announced, like I actually liked a lot of the shit that they took out of that fucking Xbox One originally.
Right.
And the problem with it was not one time during those 2 months of like, here's the Xbox One. And then they shit the bed at E3 and then of course announced the $500 price point. Not one time during any of that did they ever actually go, this is why we're doing it. This is why we made these decisions.
Yeah,
this is why we
never explained it. Never explained it.
It was just a, here's your vegetables and eat them. Like that's all we really got.
Yep.
And that was it. And I think that was where, and again, it's different now. And Phil Spencer's done a good job of kind of spinning the ship. And I'm going to give him too much credit by even saying his name. It's been a lot of people involved with that. But my point is that like, if they would have come out and just been like, we all got together, a lot of smart people. We went through X, Y, and Z, and these are the decisions we made, and here's why. This is what you guys don't know about 10 years from now. This is what you don't know about 5 years from now. This is why we went this way, because we feel like this is the way we should go. Now, whether you agree or disagree with that, that's up to you. But instead of coming out and saying that, they came out and were like, TV football, and there's some games. And oh, by the way, you can't, all this other shit started coming out, the DRM, all the other stuff, and they just, it snowballed and they didn't know what to do.
And they didn't have answers for it.
No, that was the problem. Was nobody ever explained, well, why, if you're going to have DRM, why?
Right.
And the answer could have been,
if there was a good reason, even I, the PS4 no DRM guy, like if the reason made sense, I'd be like, all right, okay, cool.
Well, listen, the two things I loved about the Xbox One when they announced it originally was the family share thing.
Yes.
And also,
which they never explained.
And every game was installed on your hard drive.
Right.
Which was awesome. I was like, fuck yes. I don't have to ever get up and change a goddamn disc ever again. Right? Like now it's all digital and it's different. But at the time, I'm like, fuck, that sounds amazing to me.
Yeah. Yep.
And they took it all away because of the DRM, which, like I said, that's fine. I'm glad that they did that because it made a lot of people happy. And fuck, Microsoft might even be around right now. The Xbox One might not even be sold if they didn't do it. But like, it's just, there were things that they kind of babied and bathwatered it, right? Like, I just wanted to know if you guys sat in rooms for 4 years and made these decisions. Like, why don't you sit down for an hour and kind of tell us why?
Right.
It never happened.
They never could. Well, they couldn't.
Yeah, and maybe that was the problem.
Yeah. I mean, how do you explain? Like, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Okay, here's the family sharing plan. How does it work?
The way I interpreted it was that if you and I have an Xbox and an Xbox One, and I own a game, because it checks the fact that it's my game and it's not a bootlegged game or whatever, I can share that with you on your system. It's kind of like, I guess, how SharePlay works, except for the fact that you can play the game while I'm not online. So we both have access to it as long as like you're on my plan, kind of like a cell phone plan. That was the way I interpreted it.
Right. But
is that fair?
They said that family sharing was 10 people.
Right. So think about
10,
that. Like, you have 10
people.
buddies.
How does
like,
that make sense? Like, I mean, like, if you're a publisher and you're like, I'm going to make Assassin's Creed fucking 47, but it's going to be shared by 10 people for every copy sold. Like, how does that even make fucking sense?
It doesn't. That side of it doesn't at all. But the consumer side of it is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
okay. Yeah. I was
okay. Like,
about that.
okay, I have 10 friends. Like, we'll just rotate who buys the game. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's about a year until you have to buy another game, but you get every game in between. That's great.
But I mean, they never like that just got pulled off the table. Like they just were like, okay, so yeah, like, and obviously it all had to do with the DRM, and they had to take that off and the always online stuff, which basically the whole thing was built to be online. So they pulled all this shit out of it that like actually was pretty cool.
It was. It really, like, my whole fight, like, and I hate talking about myself like this, but if you look at what I was arguing about, like, when it came to Microsoft shit, like, like the whole Sony thing, like, I knew because I knew people at Sony. The Microsoft thing I didn't know, but Microsoft had already unveiled their DRM. And, like, if someone just told me, like, oh, well, you can share it with 10 people and you can do this and you can do that, I wouldn't be like, well, fucking A, I'll throw my rights of owning out the window to be able to do all that shit. But that's not what they did. They were confused. Like, they seemed like a really fucking confused company.
They didn't know how to message it. They didn't know how to explain it. And instead of basically taking a step back and trying their best, they just basically fell right on their face and didn't say anything. Like, instead of actually saying something, they basically said nothing, and it was worse than saying something. And we know what it meant. I mean, look what it turned into, right? Like, they're getting fucking slaughtered. And if it wasn't for the last month of at least getting some momentum back, I mean, they would be probably down 3-1 at this point if they wouldn't have done something different those 2 months after E3.
Yeah. And people still, and this is just a pet peeve of mine, people are saying, like, Microsoft's Xbox One E3 was awful. It actually wasn't. Their E3, like, after the launch, was amazing. The problem was the reveal.
Yes. Well, the reveal and then the price. The price point.
Yes.
Killed
the price.
Slaughtered them. But absolutely. The reveal was awful. Especially, this is the other part too. So I had an Xbox 360 and a PS3. I've always been a Sony guy. But during last gen, I was a 360 guy because of the party chat and how great it was, and like that's just where I played. I had Sony exclusives on my PS3 and everything else was on my 360. And going into this gen, I was 100% Xbox. I was like, I don't care what they're bringing out, I'm getting it. Then the PS4 unveiling in February fucking blew me away. Blew me away. I was like, it's gonna be a half hour and whatever, and they were like, for the next 2 hours we're gonna talk about. I was like, I'm sorry, 2 hours, and it was like a fucking E3 event.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, wow, like Sony's back. This is a big deal. And then I was like, okay, what's Microsoft gonna bring? Like they're gonna fucking kill them. And then Microsoft came out and did what they did, and at that point, I was like, I'm buying a PS4. Like I don't even need to think about it anymore.
Right.
Like I'm automatically buying a PS4 because of those two unveilings.
Yep. I had friends at Sony that said that unveiling was going to be huge. And I was also told that it was going to be huge because of 4 gigabytes of GDRM.
And they went 8.
Yeah. And that blew, like, friends of mine who were developers were like, holy shit, really? Like, we have all this much fucking space, which is amazing at that point. But now that we're like 2 years into the future, it's like, where are those Sony first party games? Like that was such an amazing announcement, And here we are where last gen Sony had the most difficult hardware and had the best, in my opinion, like homespun games. Where the fuck, what are they doing now?
Yeah, it's funny because I agree with you, but I also disagree with the narrative that there are no games on the PS4.
Well, I agree. I disagree.
But yeah,
yes.
but Sony first party, I agree with you. Right. I agree with you. It's interesting because, and I guess I'll go back to what we talked about earlier, right? With the delaying of games. I think what you're realizing and what they're realizing in the industry is that first off, it's taking a lot longer to make these fucking games.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than they thought originally, and their timelines are just skewed. Like they're different now. But they're also realizing that it is actually valuable to delay games. And so I think what they're kind of falling into is the whole valve of like, you'll get it when we're done.
Right.
And that's just what they're doing. I mean, the most
which is better than you'll get it when
I'd rather have
a person says it should be out.
Like I'd rather have Uncharted 4 in March as opposed to October if that means it's going to be fucking done.
Yep.
Right? Like that's fine. I'll wait another 4 months, 5 months, whatever it is, 6 months. That's fine with me. Or like The Last Guardian. Like I want that as much as anybody, but like I don't mind waiting until 2016 if it's going to be done. Like that's fine.
Stop making so much sense. You're freaking me out. Okay. Last question. We're gonna we're gonna hit like
Peter. We're gonna Peter North it. Let's do it.
Yes. Best game ever.
So I toggle between two.
You already failed.
I know.
Let's try it again.
My point is that
the answer is Rocket League. Best game ever.
Rocket League.